The future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be very expansive, not just with Episode 9 and 2 live-action TV series, but also the new Star Wars trilogy, also known as the Fourth Trilogy, by the creators of Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people, including myself, am really looking forward to seeing is, of course, the future of this franchise and exactly where things are going to go and where Disney will bring us after, of course, Star Wars Episode 9's release come December of this year. Now, one thing that a lot of fans, including myself, am really focused on is, of course, the new Star Wars trilogy, specifically the first film of course, the current trilogy that is actually codenamed and/or dubbed Star Wars Episode 10/Star Wars X. So what's really intriguing about the first film of the new trilogy is that it's described that writers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss aim to finalize the first film of the new Star Wars trilogy that is being dubbed Star Wars Episode 10 by June of 2019, where it's described that major news and details are set to drop over at San Diego Comic-Con this July, which runs from the 18th to the 21st. It said that the first film of the trilogy, which is currently codenamed Star Wars X, will be a movie that transfers a library's worth of Legends material, such as characters, planets, and even ships and weapons. Additionally, it said that Disney plans to begin casting for Star Wars X during the end of the summer around August. It's also said that at least one new character, and one character known in the Skywalker saga, will make appearances in Star Wars 10, and in the entire new Star Wars trilogy, in order to loosely connect it to those films. It's said that the first film in the new trilogy will use a different composer, and that John Williams will not be involved in the first project, hinting at his retirement from Star Wars as a whole. It said that Disney is currently deciding if they should touch on Star Wars X at Celebration, or save it until the big reveal at San Diego Comic-Con, in order to focus primarily on Episode 9 at Star Wars Celebration Chicago. However, it said regardless, Star Wars X details will be revealed at SD Comic-Con this July. So I want to go over a couple of parts about all of this that's really getting me very pumped about the future of the Star Wars franchise after Episode 9. Now, like I have said many times before in the past, the whole entire future of this franchise, it really does depend on the box office results of Episode 9 and, of course, the feedback of the movie, right? At the end of the day, it really is all about the hardcore fans that really make the big money for these movies. These are the fans that see these films 4, 5, 6 times, right? The Force Awakens, from what I can remember, I saw it like 6 times or 7 times, something crazy like that. The Last Jedi, I think I saw only twice, and Solo I saw once. So Rogue One I saw 3 times, so you can see that The Force Awakens was the most views that I actually, went to go ahead and see for a Star Wars movie. And that's because it was the first film in the new trilogy. So, with that being said, with Episode 9 being the final film of the Skywalker saga, they do have to get things right in order to keep the future very bright for Star Wars X/Episode 10. Now, mind you guys, Episode 10 is a placeholder title for the first film of the new trilogy. It's not clear on whether or not they're going to keep it as Star Wars Episode 10 and actually use the Roman numeral for the new trilogy. But in this scenario, alright, the first film of the trilogy, the only thing that I find that's not so exciting is how John Williams is not going to be attached to this project, which is going to be a big hint that he is retiring from the Star Wars franchise once the Skywalker saga wraps. So, like I say, John Williams, he's up there in age. I'm sure he wants to retire soon and, enjoy his life and do what he wants to do. So that's, only expected. But when we look at Star Wars, right, you always think about John Williams. So I think it's going to be a pretty big, task, a big job for Disney Lucasfilm to get a really good composer for a main trilogy that is going to begin in 2021, most likely. So as far as everything else goes, the whole entire script is actually aimed to be finalized as early as June of this year. So I cannot believe how fast they wrote this script. I mean, they began not too long ago, and they plan on finishing it as early as June of 2019, where casting is set to actually begin as early as August of this year, just before they begin filming in-studio sequences during the fall of 2019, where on-location shots will be done in, of course, the first quarter of 2020. So this movie, you know, is really starting to ramp up, and that the big reveal and details and stuff like that will be revealed at San Diego Comic-Con this July, alright, of 2019. So with that being said, I will say that I'm very pumped and excited to see, you know, what this new trilogy really is going to be. You guys may have heard the big reports a couple of weeks ago that it's going to primarily be focused on Disney's version. That's the key word there, right? Version. Disney's version of the Old Republic, which is said to be 100 years, or no, I should say hundreds of years, before the events of the Skywalker saga instead of thousands, like how it was in the video games. So I guess they want to make it somewhat more realistic, I guess, in a sense. I don't know. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.